Hello YouTube out there, this is Veteran Mountain Man coming to you again here on YouTube, and today we're going to discuss more rhetoric and debate. So in my last discussion on rhetoric, we talked about logical fallacies and why it was important to avoid those. However, we didn't actually discuss what you should be doing in a logical act of rhetoric. Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure when you step into a rhetoric arena, when you step into a debate, or you're presenting your opinions, that you've already looked over the facts and you know what you're talking about. Now, this doesn't mean memorizing all of the facts verbatim, but it does mean studying the facts carefully and making sure that you can understand and comprehend the facts. It helps to read several analyses of the facts from several different points of view as well, which is part of the reason we discussed in the 1776 ideologies becoming informed from different sources. You cannot source all of your material from a single source, because if you're sourcing from a single source, you're appealing to authority, which is a logical rhetoric fallacy. So, once again, how do you frame your debate? We'll start with your resources. Gather together information from several different sources and mesh them together in a logical sequence. Now, how do you do that? We'll start with a dictation statement, a thesis statement. What is it you are arguing for? Don't worry about the opponent just yet. Concentrate on what you're arguing for. Write a simple, declarative statement. As few adjectives as possible, but as precise as possible. Try not to make it a complex sentence. Try to make it a very simple sentence. Something easy to remember, easy to understand, with little to no ambiguity. Now, bring forward your sources and pick the most pertinent facts from each source that you will use to justify that position. Now, from those, you need to make sure that those facts actually do support the statement you're talking about, and not just something that you feel is good about. Because remember, appeals to emotions are once again logical fallacies. Now, I recommend having 3 to 4 precise points, and realistically, you could do as many as you want, but in most debates, 3 to 4 precise points is fairly necessary and not overkill, because one of the things you don't want to do is overextend yourself. Too many facts will kill the flow of the argument, kill the flow of the debate, and instead will just bury them, and that's not good rhetoric either. People will not discuss with you or debate with you when you bury them in facts, because they have no time to look up everything and refute every single detail. So you want to engage your opponent, and you want to lure them out and make them show their fallacies and make them show their lack of logic. And you do that with clear, concise facts and points. Now, once you've got these things together, you need to kind of work through a flow. And to do that, you'll want to practice kind of what you're going to say if you're going into a person-on-person debate, or if you're going to do, say, a live stream group chat or something of that nature. If you're doing it over the internet, sit and think a minute before you start typing. And I mean, I'm guilty. I don't always stop and think before I type. And there are some times when I'm done and I look at what I wrote and I delete the whole thing and start over. But if you stop and think first, you tend to make a more coherent argument. Now, if you are debating over the internet, try to keep your points short. Apparently, a lot of the newer generation think if you can't express it in 140 characters, you're all triggered and shit, and you're just ranting. Well, truth be told, I don't get triggered. I pull triggers, but I don't get triggered. And so making a clear, concise statement is going to A, be more effective, and B, keep the idiots in their attention cycle from losing complete capability of following what you're saying. Now, make sure that you stay on the logical topic. If they start calling you names and start using ad hominems, call them a name back. And then say, but that doesn't resolve anything. This is my point. And if you can't debate the point, then you need to leave because you're not doing anything here. Nobody cares about your name calling. But call them out. If they use another logical fallacy, such as a straw man or an appeal to authority, call them out. Show them the definition if you need to. Because quite often, they don't know the art of rhetoric either. And it is very sad that in this day and age, the art of rhetoric is a dying art. Because as it stands, it used to be a standard part of the education of America. It used to be something that was taught in speech classes. And debate was taught. And debate teams were available for individuals to join and interact on. And it seems that that is going very much the way of the dodo. We are losing our ability to debate just as we are losing our ability to critically think. Well, I want to thank you all again for joining me here on YouTube and discussion of the basic ideas of rhetoric here. You can like and subscribe and leave a comment below to tell me how I'm doing and if there are any other topics you want me to address. Or you can join me on Minds.com where I interact in regular rhetoric discourse with a large variety of people, both alt-right and the SJW left, as well as on occasion some classic liberals and some normal moderates, where we actually end up debating ideas in a logical, consistent methodology. But you're welcome to join us, watch, sound off, give input, shoot, even correct me if I make a mistake, because nobody's perfect. And the link below will get you to my my address at minds.com/veteran mountain man, or you can just go to minds.com and sign up, and you'll find me on there. Thank you all again, and have a good night.